Alright, hey what's going on guys? Amazing and so are you, and today we are gonna do um a little tier list since everyone is doing this, like OJ um Charlie with his Dreamcast games. So I'm gonna be doing a tier list of every single Clash Royale troop, and this is fully updated. There is 107. I did count myself using a calculator, of course. And we're just going to go over what are the best cards, what are the most amazing cards, great, were they good in the old meta, and then of course decent, bad, or kind of bad, bad, never going to use again, and never used. Um, and I think I have used every single card in this list, so um, I do know at least a little bit about it. So, anyways, I have put them in elixir order as you can see, and we're just gonna go um, from the very top here, starting at uh, the mirror. So, for the mirror, I'd say it's a decent card. I mean, it depends on what level it is and what you're, I guess, mirroring. For the for the spirits, I think Fire Spirit's a great card. Ice Spirit, I don't really use, so I'm gonna put it in bad. I mean, I'm never gonna use fire. I'm never gonna use these. I don't. Yeah, I don't use the spells other than Fire Spirit if I have to. For skeletons, they're a great card. I use them sometimes. Rage. Uh, Again, it depends on what I'm raging. Log is amazing. It takes out a lot of people's zap. Um, Actually, you know what? We'll do that because Zap doesn't work all of the time. Log usually works a lot. Snowball can be great. Well, actually, Snowball can be amazing depending on its level. Ice Golem is decent because it pulls people away. Goblins are pretty good if they. Actually, goblins are. No, goblins are pretty great because they can get there pretty easily. Bomber's amazing. Bats. Um, Bats are kind of bad. I mean, they don't really do anything. Spear goblins are up there with the regular golems. Wall breakers are amazing if you can actually. Wall breakers are amazing if you can get them to connect. We'll put bomber in best cards. Barbarian barrel, same with the log, except it spawns stuff. Knight is S tier, does really good at taking care of things. Firecracker is one of those great cards, or actually, I put it in decent because you activate the King Tower with most of your stuff. Fisherman is amazing. I've never really had any problems with them. Uh, Princess, I'll put in great. She's not amazing because she can be taken out with log and um, things like that. And actually, I'm gonna switch those because this is an invisible knight, so with Goblin Gang now being 3, I'm going to put it in Amazing. For Skeleton Barrel, I mean, they can both be taken out by logs. So I'm actually, no, yeah. Because Skeleton Barrel was good in the old meta, but Log and Zap easily taken out, so it has to be the low miner. He's he's decent. Goblin Dark Goblin's decent. Actually, no, he's pretty great because if he gets on your tower, you're losing like 100. Um, Ice Wizard, I'll say great. Nah, he's decent. For guards, they're good at countering a lot of stuff, so I will say amazing for them. Bandit, only if she connects to the tower. Goblin Barrel, was kind of good in the old meta, but he's still good. I'll put Skeleton Barrel in the old meta as well. Um, let's see what it says. Is there anything that I want to change right now? Let's see. Fisherman is still pretty good. Fisherman's actually decent. Let's see. Log, Bomber. They're I like their old meta version better. Or well, they're decent. Guards are still amazing because they have a shield. These are probably both old meta because they're so easily counterable, but they're still pretty okay. I'll actually put them in decent. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Bats are kind of bad. Mega Minion, um, honestly, never gonna use him again. I don't see Firecracker. I'm not gonna use Fisherman and Ice Wizard. I'm not. Well, actually, never say never. I think I'll use those three again, but they're kind of bad. Um, these I definitely won't use. These guys I'm never gonna use again. Probably. Will I ever use a mirror? I don't think I'll ever use a mirror. Bats I use sometimes. These guys I use sometimes. Rage, those are decent. Goblin Barrel I use. Those I use. Princess I'm not gonna use again. Well, maybe. Yeah, okay. Minions, they're actually pretty decent. Actually, I'll put them in old meta because they're pretty good. Elixir Golem is decent. It depends on if you're raging him. I'm actually gonna put this in the. I'll put it in S tier because it spawns someone and does a lot of damage. Skarmy, S tier. I mean, it takes. I'll put it in aMayesing because it gets countered a lot, but it is a good um, killer. For Tombstone, I'll say it's great. I'll put it in old meta because now with Mother Witch, it's an easy counter. Archers I haven't really used, but I'll put them in aMayesing because they do a lot of damage. Clone, really don't use Clone. Earthquake, depending on the level, it can be a great card. Arrows is what I currently use. They take out everything easily. Tornado, um, I'll put in the great. It does good for hogs and stuff like that. Cannon I don't use. Tesla I do use. I'm gonna put that in the decent. Or actually, yeah, I'll put it in decent. I don't use it that much. Mortar, especially with if it was the barbarian mortar, it would be an S tier. But since it's regular mortar, I'll put it in great, I guess. Cannon. Oh, flying machine I've used. I'll put in decent. Yeah, Dark Prince. Um, is great at dealing damage. I'll actually put it up there. Zappies aren't really great, but they're decent at taking out like Inferno Dragon stuff like that. Healer, Healer's decent. Nah, she's great. I use her a little bit. Furnace, depending on the car, depending on the level, can be great. Bomb Tower is decent. I don't think I'm actually ever going to use Bomb Tower again. Freeze. Do I use Freeze that much? I do use Freeze. I'll put it in aMayesing. I think it's pretty good. Poison. Um, again, kind of like Freeze. It's just actually, actually Poison's decent. I don't use it that much, but I do use it sometimes. Fireball is great. Great or amazing? It's great because it takes out most of your issues. Um, The Inferno Dragon's decent. I will put it in great, but that's only if he connects. Um, Skeleton Dragon's really never going to use again. I don't have really any good use for them. Um, Electro Wizard is amazing. Takes care of the Inferno Dragon and anything that needs to be stopped. Hunter is old meta. I don't see a lot of people using it, but it still is a great card. But do I want to put it? I'll put it in old meta. Yeah. Musketeer. Um, I mean, she's decent. Well, I'll put her in great because she does a lot of damage. Goblin Drill, old meta. I've used it so many times, and the old meta was so much better. Hog Rider, you can't go wrong with Hog Rider. Mini Pekka, can't go wrong with Mini Pekka. Um, Goblin Cage is amazing because it pulls these two and does some good damage. Dragon is. I have the level 14 Dragon, and I have to say it's not that great, but I'll put it in decent because it still does a lot of damage. Mother Witch, decent. I mean, I don't use her that much. Actually, I'll put her in great just because she does spawn some stuff. Lumberjack, can't really go wrong with that. He does some good stuff. These guys are pretty amazing if they hit the tower. Valkyrie is S tier. Night Witch, I've been using her recently, and I'll put her in great below the Mother Witch because, I mean, you can easily knock that out. Skeleton King is decent. Um, if you get him to touch the tower, he does a lot of damage, especially with his ability. For me, Golden Knight, I'm just not going to use. Um, for Minor, I'm honestly going to put in the kind of bad just because they're not. I don't use him that much, but he is good if they reach the tower. I think maybe he needs something changed um, to make him a little better. Maybe to go forwards instead of sideways, but I don't know. For Magic Archer, yeah, he's amazing. Giant was. I'll put him in. Oh. Old meta, I think that's when people used him a lot. He doesn't really get used a lot now, and he's easy to counter. Executioner is S tier. Electro Dragon is amazing. I've used it. Actually, I'm gonna put it in great. It's not amazing, but it does do some damage. Balloon, I'll put in great. In I'll put in amazing because if it touches the tower, it's a lot of damage. Cannon Cart is decent. Actually, it's great because it touches the tower. It's going to be there for a while. Um, Bowler's S tier because that does a lot of damage. Witch is amazing. I don't use her a lot. Wizard's great. Barbarians, I'll say great because they're easily countered by Fireball. Um, Inferno Tower stops a lot of stuff. Pigs, I loved their old meta. They slowed them down now, so it's kind of sucks. Prince, can't go wrong with Prince if you get it on the tower. Goblin Hut gives a great troop thing. These are decent. I've tried using these multiple times. The Rascals just don't do a lot. Um, for Graveyard, put them in decent. I don't use it that much. So, and they're only level 10, so they're not amazing for me, but they're decent. Minion Horde, I'm never going to use. They're easily counterable by like everything. There's a lawnmower outside. I'm going to shut my window. Hold on. Dude, they mowed the lawn like 2 days ago or something. Ram Rider. Ram Rider is actually pretty good. I'll put her in aMayesing. For Archer Queen, let's see, where's the Skeleton King? Archer Queen's great, and actually I'm gonna put her in aMayesing because her invisibility is really cool. Uh, Expo, I don't think I'm ever gonna use again. I really don't use it that much. Elite Barbarians, never really gonna use. Skeleton, Giant Skeleton, never really gonna use. I do use Goblin Giant sometimes, but I don't know if they're kind of bad or decent. I'm gonna say kind of bad just because they don't do much, although the Spear Goblins do help it a lot. Sparky is great, actually pretty amazing. Takes out a lot of stuff. Rocket, um, that's what's used a lot. Elixir Pump, not really gonna use ever again. Road Giant, not gonna use. Not gonna use. Lava. Lava Hound is decent. It doesn't do a lot of damage, um, and is easily countered, but pretty good. Mega Knight, it's OP if it gets on your tower. Uh, Pekka, I'll put in decent. I mean, actually kind of bad because for how expensive it is, it really doesn't do much. Electro Giant is annoying, so obviously it's going to be at the top there. Royal recruits are amazing. They're amazing. Yeah, they're amazing. Um, because of how many of them there are. For the barbarian hut, I liked the old meta where you got two and then four when it ended. Um, for Gollum, I'm gonna put in I'm gonna put in great because they're not amazing, but uh, they do distract a lot of people. And then I'm never gonna use the Three Musketeers because they just suck. So, anyways, um, let's see. Let's just do the aMayesing Clash Royale troop tier or card Royale card tier list. This is my tier list for Clash Royale cards. So, yeah. Did I say it? Alright. Well, I'll I guess leave this here. Um, so I want to thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Um, I guess I'll leave a link or something to it down below so you can check it out and do one for yourselves. But yeah, I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.